Good morning, North Georgia. This is GMFTO, hashtag GMFTO with BKP. That means good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. We promise you every day there's a lot of new things happening we promise you every day there's a lot of new things happening here on FYN TV. Now, they are set up that if you send a text message, if you want to get involved in the show, 706-889-9700. If you want to send an email, chief@fetyournews.com, and you want me to immediately see what you're sending in, if I can get to it, it will be right on a screen, right there. I will be able to see it immediately. So I don't have to look over at the phone. I don't have to, that's 706-889-9700. I don't have to look over at the phone. I don't have to look down at the computer. It will be right out there on a screen. We're doing new things here at FYN TV every day. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at FetYourNews, hashtag GMFTO. You know what? Donald Trump is having let's me see how I can get this. Donald Trump is having as many problems as a Jew trying to get into a country club in the 1950s. I'm serious. I know what you're saying. Did I really just say it? Exactly? Look it up. Don't look it up. Look it up. I'm just saying. I mean, I've seen Jews get in the country club easier than Donald Trump is getting in. The establishment is kicking him right out. I am telling you right now, if you go and look at the establishment, okay, this is big news everywhere else this morning. It is big news. They're making a big deal out of it. 50 GOP national security experts oppose Trump. It's the establishment, folks. 50 GOP national security experts oppose Donald Trump. All right? Then we have over here making all the rounds on Morning Joe and Majinka. This is big. This is big. Is this what they keep telling us? Is Susan Collins, GOP Senator Susan Collins, why I can't support, okay, Donald Trump. She's the senator from Maine, establishment. She writes an op-ed that is in the Washington Post this morning, all right, why she can't support Donald Trump. Just saying, okay? Anyhow, Trump gives a major economic speech yesterday concerning his tax plan. Need to look at the 50 people. I'm not going to get into it. Take the 50 establishment, we won't go too deep into that. Take the 50 establishment that claim they will not support Donald Trump because they are national security experts, okay? Michael Chernoff, Tom Ridge, okay, Michael Hayden. Let's look at Tom Ridge. Who is Tom Ridge? Oh, by the way, let me get this out. We are doing this show, I am proud to say we are doing this show clean this morning. We are clean. I am competing this morning against anyone out there. I'm competing against Joe Scarborough, Majika, all the wackos on CNN. If you're out there, I'm competing clean this morning. No doping here on FYN TV. Too bad the national media keeps hiring dopes, okay? I'm serious. We're competing clean here. What's the girl's name? What's her name? I got Tom Sawyer over here. Cole, what's the girl's name that we have an international crisis this morning. I'm serious. Obama will probably come to the podium and everything. What's that girl's name? Say it. I'm looking it up. Oh, I got it already. Oh, what a staff. Lily King. You got a picture of her ready to go? Lily King, okay? Lily King last night looks over at the Russian swimmer and says, American Olympic swimmer calls out drug-cheating Russian champion. American Lily King has her sights set on winning Olympic gold. She comes out and says she is clean, okay? She's competing clean. She's proud to say she's competing clean, that we have an international issue this morning with the Russians. Obama will probably come out. Somehow the media will swear that Donald Trump has something to do with this. But Lily King says she's proud she's competing clean. What happened to the picture? I thought I told you like at 6:30 to get a picture. What do I need, 12 more people on the staff? Forget it now. The show's, I'm already, get me a picture of Lily King up there so people can see it. Anyhow, I want you to know I'm competing clean this morning. No doping here on FYN TV. Can't have it here. We don't believe in this. Now, I think George is back. He sent me a message last night saying he's back. I think George is back. And so we're going to look a little bit at the national between 9 and 10. I'm going to do a couple local stories here for a reason, because no matter where you're at in America, you need to be paying attention to this, no matter what county you live in, regardless of what's going on. All right, don't worry about the picture now. You need to worry about what's going on with your property taxes. We're going to talk about that. Evan McMillan, okay, he is going to bring the Mormon vote into play. That's right. Mitt Romney has decided he will get the Mormon vote. Now, evangelicals, you stayed home last time. The Mormons we're going to show you. I'm telling you, he's from what? Out there in Utah, right? He's Evan McMillan, the Mormon vote. He's an independent. He did work for Goldman Sachs. Let's put that on the list. He has missed the deadline already for an independent to get on the ballot, I think, in 26 states. So why are they doing it? Why is it important to make all the national media, and why is it important to have him on all of your shows? Right? Missed 26 deadline. This morning, all the national shows will tell you that Donald Trump's tax plan, okay, will increase the debt. Will increase the debt. He has no way to pay for it. That's what they're going to tell you, okay? Now, the tax plan that they're saying, let me get this up here, okay? Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton spar over economic proposals, all right? This is from the Wall Street Journal this morning, okay? Donald Trump blasted Hillary Clinton in an economic policy speech that sought to pick off some of her supporters, while the Democrat presidential nominee dismissed her rival's plans as a repackaging of old Republican ideals. If Ronald Reagan's old Republican economic ideals, I'll go with those, okay? In an appearance before the Detroit Economic Club on Monday, Mr. Trump fused his populist message with the appeals designed to win support from the left, okay? Now, let me get into a couple things. Hillary Clinton's tax plan. Let me tell you what Hillary Clinton's tax plan is. They're going to let you know that Donald Trump's proposal and tax cuts will increase the deficit. Now they worry about the deficit, okay? The debt. The debt is going to become important, okay? Now watch what happened to the Democrats, the shift, all right, in direction. The constitutional Khan, remember Mr. Khan gave us his pocket constitution? This is mine, Mr. Khan, okay? And it doesn't have the top 20 verses of the Quran in the back that you keep with yours. This is the constitutional Khan. Remember that? The Democrats decided to let you know that they were concerned about the Constitution. Their second move is the debt. They're concerned about the debt. So all the media, they're letting you know, all the media is letting you know that the debt, how high it will go if Donald Trump gets elected. And here's what they're telling you, because they don't understand. This is a bad thing to them, okay? To them, this is a bad thing. Growth. I'm serious. Growth. Because job creation in the private sector would be it would be a disaster to them, a total disaster. If you create jobs in the private sector and you grow the economy 4%, all right? It could happen, folks. Just say it could happen. If you release the money supply, you cut corporate taxes, you repatriate some of the cash sitting offshore, and you grow the economy 4%, you can pay for what Donald Trump wants to do. Nobody talks about the overbloated government that we no longer need. Okay? Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about any cuts that possibly could happen in the overbloated government that we no longer need. All they're talking about today is how Donald Trump's tax plan is so aggressive. That's how far we've been removed in 8 years. In 8 years, we've been removed so far that growth is aggressive, so aggressive, may not be obtainable. Okay? Because, see, the new normal, as they call it, is 0.05% growth. The lowest growth ever in history of presidents, I think, off the top of my head, just saying off the top of my head, Barack Obama in 8 years. All right? The worst growth. No growth at all. Okay? Will you hear this story today? I have it here somewhere. Hold on. I got it here. Just relax. $20 trillion man. The Washington Times. This came out November 1st, 2015 by David Boyer from the Washington Times. 20 trillion man. National debt nearly doubles during Obama presidency. National debt nearly doubles. But today, the doping media, and we are so proud that we're doing this show clean today, coming to you clean. We are swimming in the water dope-free, not like MSNBC or the rest of them, okay? Not like them. But I'm telling you now, 20 trillion. When President Obama signs into law the new 2-year budget deal Monday, hell, would that be the omnibus? Hell, would that be what Paul Ryan and the Republicans gave him? Hell, would that be the establishment? Hell, you say. Sorry, folks, I plan to clean it up. All right, I don't use no bad words. When President Obama signs into the law the new 2-year budget deal, which created nothing, 0.5%, 0.05%, not even a full percent, okay, in growth, his action will bring into sharper focus a part of his legacy that he doesn't like to talk about. He is the $20 trillion man. Mr. Obama's spending agreement with Congress will suspend the national debt limit. Oh, hell with that, right? And allow the Treasury to borrow another $1.5 trillion or so by the end of his presidency in 2017, added the current total national debt of more than $18.15 trillion. The red ink will likely be crowned. Will be crowding the 20 trillion mark around the time Mr. Obama leaves the White House. So, as he leaves, he will nearly in 8 years double the debt, no growth at all. And Hillary Clinton, he says, I've picked Hillary Clinton to succeed me. Right, folks? Come on, man. I have picked Hillary Clinton to succeed me. He got on the stage and gave all the what fors and how great Hillary is, and he passed. Remember the media the next day swooning, the doping media? We're doing it clean here, folks. We're doing it clean. No drugs allowed at FYN TV. Remember, he stood up there and all the media said, oh, he's passed the baton. The next morning, the baton has passed. I know what they could do with their baton and their debt that they passed. Oh, the baton. You remember that great baton the next morning? Oh, they have the president, he eloquently last night Andrea Mitchell, all of them, they were just swooning the next morning. Morning Joe, Brzezinski, all of them. Oh, he has passed the baton. The $20 trillion, doubled the debt, zero growth, no expansion in this economy. The private sector jobs that they keep saying they created, it's just not out there, folks. The real jobs are just not out there. But Donald Trump comes out yesterday, says he will cut your taxes. He will end paying for child care credit. He'll end the death tax. List goes on and on and on. And guess what? It will add to the national deficit. It will add to the debt. Well, we can't have that. I'm looking for another one here. I was looking up this morning. Can't have that. We can't have it adding to the debt. Now, all of a sudden, they've gone to the Constitution, to the debt. Now, the media says Hillary's plan will pay for itself. Why, how could you go wrong with that? Hillary's plan will pay for itself. Okay? Let me tell you what Hillary's plan is, folks. This is what Hillary's plan is. Hillary's tax plan takes from the rich, gives to the rich, and keeps the poor in their place. That's it. You do not stand on the stage with Warren Buffett behind you. This guy who's increased his profits billions of dollars, and tell people you're going to go after Wall Street where he makes his money, and you're going to tax Wall Street, and you're going to put a 5% success tax on millionaires and billionaires or whatever. You're not going to do that with this guy standing behind you. It's not going to happen. It is the lie. Hillary's plan is very simple, folks. I'm going to take a brief break. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do a local story, and then we're going to go further into this. Her plan, it's very simple. Hillary Clinton plans to take from the rich, give to the rich, and keeps the poor in their place. Well, wait a minute. How can you take from the rich and give to the rich? Watch. You're going to have to stay with this one for a while to understand this one. But the number one thing you have to understand with her tax plan, she keeps the poor in their place. Democrats make sure, let me look right at this camera and tell you, Democrats always make sure that they keep you, the American people, in your place, and they won't let you out of it. Because Hillary's tax plan, it pays for itself. Her growth pays for it, $1.3 trillion in new taxes or something. Donald Trump wants to cut taxes and expand growth to 4%. Just saying. Why don't we at least give it a try? But no, we can't dive into that end of the water. That pool, no, we can't get in that water. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. Let me look around through here before you take me to break here, all right? Oh, yeah, by the way, they have the law, distracting driver law in New Jersey. So coffee is about to get put on that. I need to find out what Jerry thinks. Text Jerry and see if he wants to tell me about the distracting coffee when we're in break, okay? Distracting driver law in New Jersey. Coffee may be on that list. The Steves. Oh, the Steves. My God, if you're Steve out there this morning, just axe right through. Hillary said Donald has a bunch of Steves. Now, I did say this already. Let me say it again. Trump and the establishment. The establishment. Trump is having a harder time with the establishment than a Jew getting in a country club in the 50s. I said it. Google it yourself. Don't blame it on me. Okay, Tom Ridge. Folks, we have given up. We have given up our freedoms. Now, 9/11 hit, and George Bush stood in the well, and he told everybody that he was going to protect us, George W. Bush. And he was going to create the Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security. And he's going to name Tom Ridge. Practice saying Council of Foreign Relations. Council of Foreign Relations. Homeland Security and see what all they're doing now and what it's been expanded to in your life. And Tom Ridge has come out against Donald Trump. Hey, wonder why? I know why. Taxes are going up in Gilmer County. We're going to talk about that. Are your property taxes going up? We're going to talk about that. You need to stay with us. The Trump camp, this is what's going around. They need a comeback, okay? He goes to Detroit. Let me tell you what everybody knows. He says yesterday, Donald Trump goes to Detroit yesterday, and he says, Detroit, and I love when he gets in this voice, is a disaster. Hillary Clinton, she was a disaster. Obama, a disaster. Complete disaster. Just a disaster. When is she going to apologize to Detroit? It was a disaster. So, the disaster, let me tell you what people know. People know our inner cities are a disaster. And they know they're a direct result of Obama and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Democrat policies are what made these cities a disaster over the years of Democrat control. They're a disaster. Guess who knows? Not just the poor people in their place in the inner city any longer. It has spilled out to where Steve and another Steve and several Steves all around the country and Julie and Jane, several of them know our cities are a disaster. We know that. That's not a secret anymore, all right? I already told you, the 50-some foreign policy, GOP, we'll get into that a little later today. Evan McMillan, he's going to bring in, let me get this really quick. This won't take but a second. Okay. Evan McMullen is the new anti-Trump independent candidate. But he's missed the ballot deadline in 26 states. Evan McMullen, a CIA veteran and a chief Republican policy director. You know what? We do not want any more sorry, that would be my email, chief. But we do not want any longer any chief Republican policy director. That is code word. I got to agree with Donald Trump. With elitist establishment, the group we don't want running the country any longer. They're losing control, folks, and they're freaking out from all around. Republicans, Democrats, whoever you are, they are losing it, okay? The doping media, yes, we're swimming clean here this morning, is running for president as an independent and an alternative to Donald Trump, okay? He's on Morning Joe. I couldn't watch that. One big problem, though, McMullen missed the deadline to get on general election ballot in 26 states. And some others, like California, he will have to collect tens of thousands of signatures in the next 7 days. It's just a front. I'm your host, BKP. When we come back, property taxes and something on the state ballot in Georgia. Now, if you're a national viewer and you're anywhere, good morning, Oscar out in Seattle. Glad to have you this morning. Oscar and Edna visiting Seattle. But if you are anywhere in the United States, you need to pay attention to my next story. It's called rollback rate. That's the biggest gimmick that was ever put in property tax, rollback rate. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Follow us on Twitter at Fetcher News, hashtag GMFTO. Find us on Facebook. Send us a message, 706-889-9700, or email us, chief@fetchernews.com. Take us to break there, young man.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or or takeaway.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elgin.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell-down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell-down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
And we're back. Good morning from the office. GMFTO, hashtag GMFTO. Find us on Twitter at Fetch Your News or follow us on Facebook. First of all, if you'd like to be a sponsor of our show, we appreciate our sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor of our show, get in touch with us, chief at fetchyournews.com or 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700. We want to thank Days Chevrolet, located on 515 in Jasper. Circuit World, promotional code FetchYourNews.com. Circuit World, FetchYourNews.com. Shops of Sycamore, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. The Shops of Sycamore Crossing. Hey folks, I've always sent you to L&L Beanery. Stay patient. Be patient. The Vault, Nathan Fitz, the new owner. The Vault will be open soon in downtown Blue Ridge, and I will get back up there, start having my meetings there. I can't wait. And Salon 84 Hair and Color, West Church Street in Jasper. Make your appointment today. That's Salon 84 Hair and Color and 706-253-9876. 706-253-9876. That's Salon 84 Hair and Color. Clock Tower Gifts and Boutique located in Jasper, and Schottenkirk Ford 515 southbound side. They're in Pickens County, right there in Jasper. Schottenkirk Ford. Stop in. They have plenty of Ford cars and trucks to choose from today. All right, now I want to go with two quick stories, and this is important. What is on your ballot this fall? Now, I don't care where you're listening. Don't tune out. If you're in Florida, Seattle, wherever you're at, don't tune out, because this story here is important for several reasons. It's one of the things that's on the ballot in Georgia. We'll discuss the JQC on the ballot, but everybody gets all excited about Trump and Hillary and independents and Green Party candidate and Gary Johnson and legalizing marijuana, but sometimes we forget what else is on the ballot. So you need to go to your state and start looking at what's on the ballot. We will look at it here between now and Election Day at Good Morning from the Office. Now here is one that there's a lot of criticism on both sides of the aisle on this. Georgia House passes Opportunity School District legislation, okay? SR 287 would allow Georgians to vote next year. You're going to get an opportunity to vote on the creation of an opportunity school district. It's an opportunity school district. Always remember, my fear is politicians telling me opportunity. Because we have politicians today that do not understand that growth creates revenue. Revenue creates taxes, and taxes you won't lose the tax base if you have more people paying in. So they cannot understand the simple logic of economics. So it always concerns me when a politician tells me something's an opportunity, okay? So it is going to be, you're going to get to vote on opportunity school districts to allow the state to intervene in chronically failing public schools. If approved by Georgia voters, if you approve this district would allow, it's going to be its own school district, Opportunity Schools, okay, district. This district would assume all operational and managerial responsibility for failing public elementary and secondary schools. The constitutional amendment, you are changing the Constitution here, folks, of the state of Georgia. The constitutional amendment would appear on the November 16th ballot, coming up general election ballot, and require support from the majority of the voters. Watch this campaign start. Opportunity. Access to quality education is paramount for the children to succeed, said Speaker David Ralston. Though it is rare when a school fails to serve the students year after year, the state has the responsibility to step in to protect the interest of the children. Nothing like the state stepping in to always protect the interest of the children. Nothing like the state, the government. Nothing like, hey, we're the government. We want to see about the interest of your children. Governor Deal's Opportunity School District plan is an important safety net. Oh, got to have the safety net. Add another one in. Add another one in. I tell you, the day of a kid or anybody in this world falling and skinning their knee and having to get the old Bactine out and spray it and keep playing is over. I mean, safety nets are everywhere, okay? The playground, you got safety nets. Safety net and upholds our responsibility to every young Georgian. You have to say it that way. To every young Georgian, okay? Something else I've highlighted here. The Opportunity School District will provide oversight. Love oversight. Love these words, oversight. To schools that are defined as persistently failing or as scoring below 60 on the College and Career Performance Index for 3 consecutive years. If you do that for 3 consecutive years, the CCRPI is the Georgia Department of Education official measurement of accountability. Last but not least, the total number of selected schools won't exceed, folks, A total of 100 schools at any time. The governor will create his own board of education, their own controlling. Now, Nathan Deal is proposing this. It will not completely be under his umbrella. He will be gone. But they will control could control up to 100 schools they could take over. Okay? At any time. Schools would remain a part of the Opportunity School District for at least 5 years, but no more than 10. They can control these schools up to 10 years. The process for school selection would include opportunities for parent and community feedback through public hearings, but final selection is the sole discretion. Final selection is the sole discretion of the Opportunity School District Superintendent. It all boils down. The final selection is sole discretion. Put all this power up to 100 schools of the Opportunity School District Superintendent before a school's oversight is transferred to the Opportunity School District. The superintendent must meet with the administration to discuss the school's evaluation and options for improvement. That is coming up on the ballot. Now, what if they want to take the schools and give them to their friends? I don't know. Just saying. Pay attention. Opportunity School Zones in November. We'll talk about that. Now, here's something else. Your taxes are going up, folks. Your taxes are going up. You have used, and we're going to stay in Gilmer County, okay? We're going to be getting a call from Seattle at 9:10 this morning. He has confirmed he will be calling at 9:10, okay? Over there in the Opportunity Next Level of FYN TV Education Center. Okay, that's the Education Center, Next Level, okay. Lonnie, could you go, I can hang meat in a locker in here. Could you go turn the AC up just a little? You can't. All right. Anyhow, folks, your taxes are going up. This is a notice, and we're going to discuss that. This is a notice, and I'm going to break this down. This is from the Board of Education. Gilmer, property taxes, you need to pay attention. I don't care where you're at, okay? Because your house price was here, okay? Your house was worth X. In the Depression, we'll call it a depression, you just didn't know it because the government borrowed billions and trillions of dollars and printed it out and shoved it into the economy that we don't really have. So you really don't know it was a depression, but it was, okay? In the Great Depression of 2009, your house value was here and it dropped here. Remember, they were calling your house an ATM. You were running to the bank to get money off your house because it was skyrocketing in value. But your house was here and its value plummeted here, okay? So let's say you were sitting on the front porch and somebody drove by and said, wow, that house looks like $100,000. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I mean, if that's what you think, okay? And then the next day they drove by and said, wow, that house only looks like it's $70,000. You're like, well, what happened? I still got the same kitchen, still got the same refrigerator, still got the same side porch I was sitting by on the other day when you came by and said it was only worth 100. Now you coming by and saying it's worth 70. What in the world happened? I mean, I haven't got another dog since then. How did my value just drop out of sight while I was sitting on the porch? Well, guess what they did? They nicely did not reduce your taxes. They reduced the value. The value of your house dropped, but your taxes didn't go down. But you know what? All the local officials, you need to look everywhere in the state, folks, no matter where you're at, no matter what state you're in, they all said, you know what? We're going to use this thing called rollback rate. Now, we don't have enough time in the course of a day to tell you what a rollback rate is. Well, let's just say it's 7 mils. We don't have time to go to that. And the county says, well, your property tax is 7 mils. Okay? So we're going to roll it up. So you paid $500 last year in property tax. And here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to guarantee you that you're only going to pay $500. Well, wait a minute. The other day they came by and said my house is worth $100,000. I paid $500 in property tax. Then they rolled by here and nothing happened to my house. And, you know, I even painted it and they said it was only worth $70, but you're telling me I'm still going to pay $500. Why don't I go down the same percent, that 30%? Why why doesn't my taxes for my property follow that 30% line? Well, it just doesn't. You paid $500 last year, you're going to pay $500 this year, and no, we need $18 million to run the county. So we need to get $18 million no matter what happens, regardless of the values, and that's what we're going to do, is we're going to get the 18. But you're not paying any higher taxes. Well, you go through and you say, well, at least they didn't raise my taxes. Wait a minute. If it's based off the assessment of the value, why didn't your taxes go down? But they didn't. Your taxes didn't go down. They stayed the same. But now wait a minute. Same side porch you're sitting on. Well, they come back several years later. We're up to 2016. And they're coming back and they're reassessing little cars. All these tax assessors all around the state bought brand new little cars. You go to your county. Now, I'm not saying they may not have needed them, but they knew that they had to send the army of assessors. That's it, army of assessors. Remember that, Lonnie. That's a pretty good line. They knew they were sending out the state, the Department of Revenue of Georgia said, we're sending out an army of assessors. So what you need to do is you need to make sure everybody gets their new cars. You do a check throughout this state of Georgia, your state, and see how many counties last year purchased new equipment to go out to do new assessments of the value of your property. Check it out. You'll be surprised how many new vehicles were bought last year for tax assessors in the state of Georgia. Now, let me wrap this up. So they go out and they bought their army of assessors. So the new assessor rides by. Now, we're not taking a shot at the assessor because this is Georgia. This is the state of Georgia. Check your state. They all basically run on the same way. So check your state out. So we're not going after assessors today. They're doing the job. They get a letter from the Department of Revenue. The county commissioners get a letter from the Department of Revenue. They can't very much say they can't go out and assess the values on things like the state says you're required to. So let me put this together. So you're sitting on the same porch. It was 100,000. It went down to 70, and now they come back and they say it went up to 100,000. Wait a minute, I was just sitting here. Well, now, yeah, you're right back 110,000. Well, that's nice. So your assessment's gone up. Well, that's good. Well, we're going to keep the millage rate the same because we rolled it up when it was lower. It's called roll back, but we rolled it to where the balance was there, but we're going to leave it alone. We're not going to raise the millage rate. This is the smoke and mirrors, folks. We're not going to raise the millage rate. Well, wait a minute. You're not raising the millage rate, but instead of me paying $500, I'm going to be paying $550. Yes, but we didn't raise the millage rate. Well, wait a minute. You didn't raise the millage rate. My house went down $30,000. You didn't take my property tax down 30% because you said you needed the $18 million to run the county. But now you come by with your little new car, and you roll off my property and took pictures and everything I get. And you put me in a tax book, and now I haven't left the property in 10 years. You're saying it's worth a lot more. And I'm the same person living here. What are you doing? Well, I'll tell you what, but we're not going to raise the millage rate. But my taxes are going up $50 a year or $100 a year. Well, that's because your value went up. So I'm supposed to thank you that you keep riding by so many years and telling me what things are worth when I've lived here for 20 years? Yeah, pretty much. So I'm supposed to thank you my value went up, so I'm supposed to be okay with paying more taxes. Yeah, pretty much. That is the best I can give it to you, folks. Now, I don't have time to go into this. I did this story a year ago, okay? You look at the state of Georgia, Department of Revenue. Consent order, Department of Revenue, Local Government Services Division from Atlanta, Georgia. Regarding the 2013 Gilmer Tax Digest, the consent order embodies the agreement between the Revenue Commission of the state of Georgia and Gilmer County Board of Commissioners and the Gilmer County Board of Assessors. Legal paperwork, okay? Section 1, background and facts. On December 15, 2015, the commissioners entered into an order regarding the 2013 tax digest, conditionally approving the 2013 tax digest and imposing penalties totaling $171,000. On January 12th, Gilmer County appealed the order and a corresponding penalty challenge correctness of the defiances cited in the order. Now, here's the thing. It goes on and on and on. I have this. I've had it I read this back and forth. Go and do some research. Stay with me if you're in another state. You need to pay attention to this. It's the smoke and mirrors. It's tax, 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 and more taxes, okay? But Department of Revenue, you can't fight them. You cannot fight the Department of Revenue, okay, in the state of Georgia. And what do? Go see how many counties. I'm going to say off the top of my head. In 1 year alone, 16 counties got a consent order with penalties. I'm going to say it off the top of my head. Go see how many consent orders over a 5-year period have been sent to counties, okay, with a penalty. Guess what the relief of the penalty is? Do it our way, reevaluate your county, and we will delete the penalty. So they give them a whole list. They even tell them how many cars they have to buy. Where is that at? I should know this thing inside and out. Where's the cars? Let's see, the cars. There's got to be some cars in here. I forget, you got to buy cars. I know Board of Assessors, necessary. Oh, the Gilmer County shall make available to Gilmer County Board of Assessors the necessary support in the form of equipment, personnel, office space, supplies, reliable transportation. This governs a state. Reliable transportation and software to ensure the approval of the 2016 tax digest is in accordance. Now, it's interesting, it's the 2016. We have to revalue the whole county. Fannin County, go look at their consent order. Look at the consent orders all across the state. And you got to buy reliable equipment so you can get the government people out to your personal property to assess it so they can get your taxes in the correct way. So, what happens is, I probably should take a break. No, I better stay with this. Okay, now, Gilmer County has decided to raise your taxes. What a lot of states are doing, and a lot of counties are doing, and you need to pay attention to this very close, okay? I read you about the tax assessors, okay? How they were demanded the consent orders to get all their equipment for them. Now, pay attention to this throughout the state, all over the United States. It's called the millage rate. Don't have time to go into that. Get ready for your commissioners to say, or your county officials to say, we're not going to raise your millage rate. Well, that sounds good. We're not going to raise the millage rate, okay? But just give me a yes or no. Lonnie, the Board of Commissioners, you went to it, and I'm reading your story here. Lonnie has a story. BOC advertises county's millage rate. The millage rate of 6.983 is the same, but the value is going up, so it will actually increase the property tax. It's staying the same.
Yes.
Right. So for Gilmer County, 6.983 millage rate is identical to last year.
Yeah.
But that's not the rollback.
The rollback would have been, I believe, 6.4.
The rollback would have been 6.4.
Something like that, yeah.
So they're not doing the rollback. What does the rollback mean? If they would have went to 6.4, it means if you're paying $100 in property tax, you'll still pay $100. It'll balance it.
Yeah.
Okay. But by keeping the millage rate, so watch this little, I'm going to call it a trick. Watch this little trick in all of your counties across the state of Georgia, all over the United States. They're going to brag that they keep the millage rate the same. We're not raising the millage rate. It's only following the value increase on your property. You know, the property, the house you're sitting on the porch, you didn't do nothing but paint it. And now all of a sudden they say, which just following that, you should thank them to give them the extra $50 a year. You should thank them for giving the extra $100. It means your property is going up. All is good, right? Wait a minute. Now, Gilmer County, for example, you know, 90 million in debt, 89.99. There you go. We'll go with 89 million and 99,000, whatever. Okay, you're in debt up to the wazoo. Okay, whatever they call it. You're in debt, Gilmer County. So 3 years ago, I'm going to say 3 years ago, you have a line item. When you took out all this debt and you sold all these bonds, you sold them all. Well, I didn't sell any. Yes, you did. You sold the bonds. And you took out the debt. And if you trip, you'll bump into a fire station. And if you trip, you'll bump into the courthouse. We got it all over this county. We built a Gwinnett style. We got how many fire stations? That's a sore subject in this county. But you spent the money. It's gone. 90 million, right? Well, guess what? When you signed that paperwork, it said if you did not bring in enough revenue, enough SPLOST revenue, you can use the SPLOST for capital expenditures. If you do not bring in enough SPLOST revenue, okay, to pay the debt payment on the bonds, you sign something saying that you will levy a tax against the citizens to pay the bond payment. Oh yeah, that's what the line item is. Get your property tax out, folks, and look at it. You have a line item for debt service, $1 million. J.C. Sanford, I sit in the room, the former chairman commissioner of Gilmer County, said we have no choice. We're not bringing in enough revenue to pay the bond payment, and by law, we forcibly, the state can make us pay the bond payment with $1 million property tax. So they put $1 million on your property tax. Well, here's what happened. Here's the last smoke and mirrors, and I'll get out of this, okay? Here's what happened. Is Chairman Charlie Paris, at that time, sit on the back bench with me, right next to me, and we sit there and we fought the language that you voted on, the SPLOST language. And we fought very hard, and Chairman Paris had himself take the sentence out at the commissioner's discretion, meaning all the SPLOST money that comes into Gilmer County has to go to the debt first. Has to go to the debt first. Has to. That's right. What's the trick? That way, we were making sure that we paid our debt in Gilmer County out of the SPLOST first. It's spent, we got to pay for it. And Charlie Paris, the chairman himself, fought that. I'll never forget it. And I have the video where he fought to have that language changed. So when you, the citizens, voted, you would make sure your SPLOST money went to pay the debt. Well, guess what? They found a little workaround on that. Because what happens is the $1 million pays a portion of the debt. And then the balance of the debt has to come out of SPLOST. That's it. But guess what? After there's any money left, they can use the SPLOST for other capital improvements that they want to spend it on. Okay? So what do? They have a legal workaround. They're going to raise your tax $1.5 million. So you see that little line that says $1 million property tax for debt, your debt service? It's going to 1.5. And then that 1.5 that comes in will go against the debt. Then the SPLOST, it won't take as much SPLOST money to pay the debt payment, right? It has to cover the debt payment. Guess what that will leave? That will leave some money in there to use the SPLOST for capital improvements, like trucks and other equipment. Do you see that? Bottom line, taxes going up. Mills staying the same, taxes going up. Your debt service, $1.5 million now. In 3 years, taxes are going up. That is a debt you have to pay. Now, before I get the break, one more quick thing. Board of Education. I'm going to read these two notes and I'm going to take a break and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it all week. Board of Education. Check it out around your neighborhood. This is Gilmer County. Notice of property tax increase. Can't spell it out any way better than this. The Gilmer Board of Education has tentatively adopted a millage rate which will require an increase in property taxes by 6.14%. All concerned, now I'm getting ready to make a lot of people mad, so stay with me because I want you to be so angry when I get done. I don't care if you're angry at me. Increased property taxes of 6.14%. All concerned citizens. Now remember, the concerned citizens are under 65. Now, we can argue this all day long, but 65 and over have the education exemption, okay? So this is on the backs of, you see me? This is on the backs of Lonnie. This is on the backs of the kid over here. This is on the backs of you. This is on the backs of the families that's got 4 kids in school, 3 kids, or by, what is the government, 1.3 if you got 1.3. Gilmer County 6 point, all concerned citizens are invited to a public hearing on the tax increase to be held at Gilmer County Schools Administrative and Technology Office on August 18th from 10 a.m. to 6:15. This is where I'm going to challenge you, and I don't care how mad you get. I want to see that loaded with senior citizens. I'm going to tell you something. If senior citizens that are not paying the tax in this county don't fill that room and help fight for the families, don't ever look at me again and tell me how much you care about your children and your grandchildren. And when they're having to go over here and they got to come out of their pocket with money for shoes to play soccer and play football and the costs that have gone up in this country, you go fight for them. You might not have to pay the tax, but I want that room full of senior citizens that care about the families and the kids and their grandkids, or don't tell me that anymore, okay? School Administrative and Technology Office, that will be at 10 a.m. and 6:15 p.m. on August 18th. Times and places for additional public hearings on the tax increase are at Gilmer County Schools Administrative and Technology on August 25th. All this on the website, Lonnie? Okay, it's all on the website. We'll get it out there. Follow us on. The tentative increase will result in a millage rate of 16.62 mils, an increase of 0.961 mils. Without this tentative increase, the millage rate would be no more than 15.659. The proposed tax increase for a home, I love fair market value. That nothing angers me anymore than everybody telling me what my fair market value. That just smokes me. Okay, the proposed tax increase for a home with fair market value of $150,000 is approximately $144.15, and the proposed tax increase for non-homestead property with a fair market value of 75 is approximately 72. Look, folks, if you got a house worth 150 grand because they drove by in the new little car that said tax assessor and it's 150, you should thank them, right? Well, guess what? Between the county, the debt service mill, the Board of Education, guess what? $200 minimal. Your taxes are going up this year. $200. Thank you. That's what you want. Thank you. Now, let me explain why the state of Georgia. And this is going to be short and sweet, and we'll detail it later. Why does this concern the state of Georgia Department of Revenue? Well, they get nothing out of that. Why would they be such a big deal, the Department of Revenue, local government service? Why do these consent orders and demand that you revalue your properties in your county? Why do that? Why do this and penalize you? Why? They don't get your property tax. This just doesn't make sense. Why the Department of Revenue would be pushing counties to try to push their citizens to revalue their counties all over. Why? Guess what they borrow from, folks? Guess what they borrow from? They borrow from the value of your county. Yes, wake up. If the state of Georgia's value goes up, that is more that they can borrow against on their big bonds and all the things they do down in Atlanta. That's right. So let's say Georgia's worth $1 trillion on paper. Well, if they come through your county and they reassess all your commercial buildings and reassess all your houses and reassess everything you have, and now the county's worth X more, and the state's worth now $1.5 trillion, guess what? Borrowing power just went up. Don't have to believe me, you don't have to trust me, but I'll tell you what, at least I'm swimming in the water dope-free this morning, okay? We're running it clean here at FYN TV. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We get back, I'm going to show you my electoral maps, and then get George in here, okay? I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Take us a break.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elgin.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Camera down. 5-4. You're good.
Good morning from the office, BKP here, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Okay, I am your host. Right behind me, we have the map. I'm not the weather girl out there, okay? Rick, you understand, Rick? Okay, well, look around here. I'm not for sure exactly what we have here. This is, let me get out of the way. This is the blue, this is the 2012 Mitt Romney map, right? This is the 2012. This is the electoral map for 2012. You see Pennsylvania is blue, Ohio is blue, Michigan is blue, Minnesota, Iowa, let's see, Illinois. I'm practicing, folks. Now, I'm covering up the left coast because we don't care anyway. But we have, let's see here, we have Colorado, New Mexico is blue, we have Florida down here in the corner is blue. All right, this is the 2012 map, okay? This is 2012 Mitt Romney and Barack Obama. As you could see, we didn't get the bar in there, so what was the total? I wanted the bar. I didn't get the, what's the total? What's the total electoral votes for the Democrats, guys? Give me that real quick. I wanted that bar. So just give me that real quick. What was the total?
Hang on, it's on mine. You don't have it.
The total blue for Obama was what? What was the total blue?
The total blue was 332.
332 electoral college votes for Obama, 332, and Romney got what?
206.
206. Now, this is the 2016, don't go yet, guys. This is the actual map. Again, I'm showing you the actual map. Look at it from 2012. Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, okay? Now, this is my actual map. Wait a minute, don't flip it yet. This is the 2016, this is the election according to BKP. This is what I think it will look like. Flip to my map, that this is my, there you go, folks. You see my map? I'm turning Maine blue. I'm turning New Hampshire, red. I'm turning New Hampshire red. I'm turning Pennsylvania red. I'm turning Ohio red. I'm turning Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin, Virginia. Turn them all red, okay? I'm going to leave Illinois alone. You can have that, Hillary. I'm going to leave Minnesota alone. You can have that. You can have New York. Donald, don't worry. Let her have New York, okay? Let her have that. I'm leaving Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Delaware. I'm leaving all those alone for Hillary. Minnesota, we're going to give you the largest Muslim vote in the United States up there in Minnesota, right? Wisconsin, Oregon, California, and we're even going to throw in New Mexico. And I'm taking a chance with Colorado. I know what you're saying. Colorado is taking a big chance. But this is, see the top? It says election 2016 according to BKP. This is what I think. That would give you, the Republicans, 339 electoral votes to Hillary's 197. This is the way I see the map myself, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you an opportunity to fill in your map according to you. We're going to do a little contest here that's coming first of the week. We're going to put a list of the states out. You're going to mark just red and blue is all you're going to do. We're going to fill your map in and we're going to put it according to you. So let's see what you think out there. It's your map. It's your country. Hey, this is Make America Great Again is what I see. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. This is my map. Go back to the 2012 real quick. Just click to the 2012. This is what happened in 2012. Okay? I'm turning Colorado red. I'm turning Nevada red. I'm turning Iowa red, Wisconsin red, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Florida, Maine, and New Hampshire. I'm turning all those red. Flip to mine. This is what I think it'll look like when Donald Trump finishes with Hillary Clinton. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. When we get back, George is going to be with us, and we're getting a call from Seattle, Washington, our good friend Oscar Pull out up there at 5 o'clock in the morning. Take us to break there. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.